Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimí Folco from Harvey Alchemy. I'm an astrologer, a tarot reader, numerologist, Reiki practitioner. I do a bunch of things. If you're interested in knowing more about me, you can go check me out on my website, harveyalchemy.com. A continued announcement, I am still doing this giveaway until I reach 1,000 subscribers. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to this channel, go follow me on Instagram, and then comment below to let me know you did those things and I'll add you to the list. Other than that, I want to get straight into it. I'm going to talk a little bit about this full moon, what it's doing, what it means for us, how we can deal with it, and also how we can maybe not run away from the information we are being given right now, either on a global level or on a personal one. And then we're going to pull some cards and see what's up. So this full moon in Virgo happens on March 18th, and that's around 2:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This full moon is full of so many trines and sextiles. I'm not even going to get into it here because it would take forever, but what you really need to know about it is that you are being provided with opportunities to use what you've learned to serve the greater good, whatever that means to you. Virgo really craves this space to serve its community in a grounded manner, to provide this service that's really of value. And then Pisces gravitates towards finding unification by bringing people together despite whatever differences they have, right? So Pisces has a really natural talent in showing us that we are on a basic level all the same. So this full moon energy is the perfect time to manifest opportunities for you to show how you can bring that energy into the world. What you can do to bring service to your community. How can you make others see that we are all the same? And just the same, what do you need to release in order to really do that deep work? That's so full moon, needing to manifest but also releasing at the same time. And I know I said I wouldn't get into too much detail, but something really interesting that we're experiencing right now is the mutual reception between Venus and Uranus. And that'll be going on until Venus enters Pisces, which isn't until like late April. But for now, it's just really interesting to note that the insane progress we make during this time can really affect us on a sensory, physical level, right? Our relationships can take on the pressure of asking, what can we do to make this better? And for those of you that don't know, mutual reception is when two planets are in each other's signs. So Uranus is in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus during the full moon in Virgo. So our relationships are being looked at, new boundaries are being established. Uranus is sort of shaking up what is conventional, what is traditional, what we've always done, especially when it comes to Venus and themes, which are relationships and our sensuality, our ability to feel things on a more physical level. On top of that, Venus isn't in a very great position until it enters Pisces because it's in between Mars and Saturn for the next month or so. What that means is we might not feel like we are totally able to connect to Venus energy, connect to that inner femininity, but it's almost like that's even more important right now, especially with what's going on in the world. It's important for us to reestablish our community, our communal connection to each other, our spiritual connection to each other, our ability to serve others and to heal others and to do that within ourselves for the greater good. On top of that, the sun in Pisces is also making this conjunction with Neptune, which is in its own sign of Pisces. So it's just a lot of this possibly overwhelming feeling of emotions, of maybe overwhelming emotions that we can't really handle. There's such an easy out to just escape or numb out from what is going on in our personal lives right now or globally what's going on. It would be so easy to just turn the other way and not focus on what overwhelms us. So it's important during this full moon, because we've got Virgo, which is grounding us, to really focus on how to make the changes that we want to make, how to connect to our spiritual selves, our emotional selves more in a way that we feel grounded by it. So I have your piles here on the table. Let's get into it. Pick your pile. Let's go. All right, so pile 1, you've got this tiger's eye. Pile 2, you've got this yellow calcite. And pile 3, you've got this smoky quartz. So pile 1, I have got your tiger's eye here. It's so interesting to see it rough because it's still got all of that sheen that you would assume is from it being tumbled, but beautiful stone. Anyway, we are going to look at how you can serve yourself, how you can serve the community around you, and then how you can serve on a more global level. Something about Pisces and Virgo that they have in common, and because they are on opposites of each other, they automatically have it in common, is their need to be of service, to be useful to either something much more mundane. That's what Virgo is very much about, being of service every day, something very ritualistic. And then Pisces is on a much more universal level, how to be of service to our spirit selves, how to align our souls with our need to connect to humankind as a whole. It's big questions. So I'm going to look at how best you can serve yourself during this full moon. And we've got Temperance. Came right out, jumped right out, and that's a major. So we'll see if any other majors come. So we're going to focus on these majors that come up. If it's a major on how you serve yourself, then it's really important for you to take care of yourself right now. If it's how you serve your community, so on and so forth. So for you, it's really important to serve yourself in a way of moderation. I feel like maybe for you, you're allowing everything that's going on in your own personal life or on a global level to affect you very much. And it's hard not to, right? We're all emotional beings. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. We all get overwhelmed sometimes, overstimulated. And Temperance really speaks of moderation, of being able to handle a little bit at a time. So I think it's important for you, and what serves you the most is going dark every now and then. And if it's not going dark like on social media, if it's not going on your do not disturb or turning your phone off, even like sacrilege, if it's not doing that, serving yourself in other ways of saying, you know what, I have to set this boundary that I cannot take on your energy right now, right? Like I said, relationships are really highlighted right now. So if you feel like you're taking on or you're kind of absorbing other people's emotions, other people's experiences, it's important for you to serve yourself, to set boundaries and to say, actually, I can't take this on right now. But I will take it on when I am ready, right? All about moderation. So you're setting a boundary to say, I can't take it on right now, but that doesn't mean I can't take it on ever. That's not moderation. That's almost all the way to the other side. So to say, set aside times that matter for you, that you are taking care of yourself. And even in this, it's like there's so much focus on what you're indulging in, right? So much food, the cupcakes versus having, being on a strict diet. You don't want to eat only cupcakes, and you don't want to restrict yourself so much, because that too is an unhealthy relationship to food. So sort of making sure that you can balance out the way that you're seeing your boundaries that you're setting with other people, but also ones you're setting with yourself. You know, how much phone time is a painful amount of phone time? At what point do you get too overwhelmed by all of the information you're being given, or overwhelmed by all the stimulation you're being provided? So it's important for you to serve yourself, to really moderate your experiences right now. Let's see how you can serve your community. We've got the Ace of Swords. Speaking up is really important. Having clarity in your words is really important. But I think it's almost like there are people around you that don't know how you feel, that you're a little elusive to them. And that makes sense, because Pisces is all about being elusive and sometimes being deceptive, but most of the time it's just foggy, right? There's not a lot of clarity there. And we're in Pisces season for the full moon in Virgo. So this Ace of Swords for you, the best way that you can serve the people around you, your local community, your relationships, your workplace, is to be as clear as possible. Whatever it is that you are dealing with, or whatever sort of situation is happening most strongly for you right now, it's important that you use your words, that you communicate effectively and clearly and diligently. So that's how you can best serve the people around you. And on a global scale, right? Communicating and serving our community of humans. I think it's really important to focus on that for Pisces season. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles was hiding. Important to ground yourself. And the Seven of Swords. What do you not need to bring with you? Right? It's almost how you can serve your community. Or not, sorry, community, the larger scale, the spiritual community, the entire world, the globe. What is your role in this? I think there's so much going on in the world that is up here that is so frenetic and so anxious almost and restless and movement oriented, action oriented, that Mars is really being activated, that it's important for you to be a source of grounding, a source of calm. If you give in to this relentless restlessness, you're not being a part of the solution. And that's not to put blame on you, because it's hard not to take on that restlessness. But your power here is to be able to remain calm and to be able to breathe through this and to be able to provide whatever you can, whatever support you can, be it physical, financial, emotional, right? Just being able to provide some sort of support. That's that Ace of Pentacles. That's how you can serve kind of your global community. And that Seven of Swords, I feel like there's something really strong about not having to take it all on. I feel like maybe you are very humanitarian and that you're like, I can solve climate change, I can solve, all of these different issues, but you can't solve it all yourself. All you can do is every day take on one job that helps, that gives this support, like I said. And that's very Virgo of like, if you make something a part of your routine, it is more likely to be helpful. So really this ace energy, you've got the Ace of Swords for your community, for your local people, for your relationships, your general surroundings, but Ace of Pentacles for the whole world. So I want to look more, because you've got this major, for how you can serve yourself during this time. I want to look at the idea of moderation. And I'm going to pull some cards on what you need to release versus what you are manifesting for this full moon. What do you need to release, pile one? There we go. The King of Cups. That's so interesting, because the King of Cups to me is so Cancerian. But, during this Pisces season, I think it's important for you to release the idea that, like, you even understand all of your emotions, that you even understand where all of this is coming from. We're living in a time of absorption of everything, of content, of stimulation, of other people. We're really taking it all on. And so I think it's almost unrealistic to know where all of your feelings are coming from. So I think for you, it's really needed to release the idea that the responsibility of all of these emotions, and at the same time releasing those emotions because they're not all yours. So really absorbing everything. I feel like it's important for you to take on some rituals of self-protection. And I think that's something that comes a lot with people who are empathic or spiritual, or, just really attuned to themselves and their emotions, because they're likely to understand other people's emotions so much. They're so much more likely to take on those emotions themselves. And so it's important to protect yourself, almost to have a barrier between yourself, your emotions, and other people's emotions. To say, I will not take this on, but I'm happy to be of service to you. But again, that goes back to this temperance of, if you cannot handle it right now, you have to say so. You have to be clear, right? That Ace of Swords coming up again. You have to be clear about what it is you can and cannot take. And that can shift too, right? You're allowed to say, today, I can't help you right now, but let me get back to you tomorrow and I'm happy to help you. Okay, and what are you manifesting? Not what do you need to, because you are. What are you manifesting this full moon in Virgo? Let's see. I see you. Wow, I wanted another one though, so, there it is. Came out quickly. Wow. What are you manifesting? We've got Death and we got Strength. Death is the first one that jumped out, and then Strength came out very strongly afterwards. So it's interesting, again, with the majors all coming during how you can serve yourself. And by serving yourself, you are helping those around you, right? It's very much like Chiron, where you are wounded and how you heal throughout your life is how you are healing others and how you are healing a part of the world. So for you, what you are manifesting is you are manifesting death. Deep transformation, a deep change that's needed. And again, this food pops out to me. So relationship to food. And that makes sense because Uranus is in Taurus. So there's a lot of sudden insight when it comes to what we put into our bodies, our views on security, stability, and food falls under that. And so you are manifesting this deep shift when it comes to food, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to the boundaries that you're setting, and also strength. I mean, again, if we go with food like that body wellness, that ability to be strong, that ability to carry the weight. So yes, the responsibility of absorbing other people's emotions, you are releasing that, but you're also manifesting the strength you need to have that moderation. You're manifesting the strength to transform, right? We don't really talk about how we, you know, at least for myself, I talk about all the time how like, oh, I love transformation. I love change. I love when the death card comes up. But when we're actually doing it, there's pain involved and there's difficulty involved and there are goodbyes and releases that need to happen. And so you are mustering up, you are manifesting the ability to say goodbye without feeling all of that pain. And that to me is really stunning. All right, pile one, let's get one more card, sort of anything your guides have to say. Oops, that's too much. Okay, but they came out again. So you got the Wheel of Fortune and you got the Queen of Pentacles. First off, I feel like the idea of security is really strong for you right now. That and definitely could be financially. But at the same time, just anything that is that signifies stability to you. And as children, we are told that money is what makes us stable. Food is our nourishment that keeps us alive. Water, breath, right? These are all foundational things that support us. And so I almost feel like your guides are saying like, you are safe, you are stable, you are abundant in your ability to be stable and secure. There's sort of just something about lack mentality that needs to be erased and needs to be let go of, because you really are protected here with this Wheel of Fortune. All of that luck, all of those blessings, especially when it comes to your ability to generate stability yourself. All right. I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you guys a lot of love and I will see you next time. Have a happy full moon. Bye. All right. So pile two, we've got your yellow calcite obelisk, I want to say it's called. The little tower guy with the point at the top. Love this one. This was a gift from my friend. Stunning. Yellow calcite, real energizer right in the solar plexus. So I'm going to focus on how you can be of service to yourself, how you can be of service in your nearby surroundings, like your local community, and then how you can be of service in a more spiritual sense to, our global community, right? We are all one. We are all the same. That is what Pisces is trying to teach us this Pisces season and even later on. So I'm going to use this Botticelli deck. I brought out a couple of different decks this time around because I feel like I'm getting stuck in a rut with my same couple of decks. So how you can be of service to yourself. There we go. The Ace of Wands. Now is not the time to ruminate. Now is the time to make a decision and take action. I feel like there's, I know this is a fire card, it's Ace of Wands, but something about it is really in the mental space because the wand is all about action. It wants to move forward. And I feel like serving yourself is taking the action rather than constantly weighing the benefits and the costs and the pros and cons, how you profit, how you lose. That is just fueling this doubt in your head. And that is causing the hesitation that won't let you just move forward. So the best way for you to serve yourself is to just do the damn thing, is to just move forward. It's to just go for it. Because once you make that decision, you will have the answer about whether or not it was the right thing to do. And if it was the right thing, great. And if it was the wrong thing, you've learned something. Sitting on it is not helping you. It's not doing you any favors right now. So this Ace of Wands really wants you to go for it, move. I'm curious because each one of these cards is a specific painting by Botticelli. And it's almost like this is something about permission being granted, permission to grow. It's so interesting too, because there is almost this like master-servant relationship in this painting and in this card. So it feels like you need to ask for permission from somebody else And it's up to you to give yourself that permission. And the decision doesn't have to be to, yes, do it. The decision is to say, oh, no, I'm not going to do this thing, right? Say, you have this job offer and you can't decide whether or not you want to take it or not take it. Taking it is an action. You say, yes, I'm taking this job and I'm going. Saying no is also an action. And I think that saying no doesn't feel as much like an action because you could always say yes later, but I think you have to commit. Either say yes to the thing or say no to the thing. Now is really not the time, like I said, to ruminate on the decision. With all of the planets going direct, we don't have anything retrograde right now. It is just a perfect time to make your decision. Go for it. So let's see how you can be of service to your local community, which is in your relationships, your workplace, or actually your neighborhood, right? Your community center. We've got 2 cards. We've got the Ace of Cups and we have got Death. Interesting. I do feel like for someone out there, it's important for you to end a relationship with somebody. Could be romantic, but also certainly could be platonic, could be business, could be friendship. I feel like there's something that is not fulfilling you or isn't fulfilling the other person, but both of you are being too passive in that and not communicating that honestly to each other. And so there's something about, feeling like we absolutely need each other. And what's insane here is that we've got the Ace of Cups, which is this imagery of this woman breastfeeding her baby. And then we've got Death, which is a woman saying goodbye to somebody. So it almost feels like there's a really huge journey that you've had with somebody. I feel like relationships are really here right now. And this is about how you're serving somebody else outside of yourself. It feels like you are serving somebody else if you say goodbye to them. Maybe they don't have the strength to do it themselves. Maybe you don't even have the strength to do it yourself. And maybe even this Ace of Wands, the idea of taking action and moving forward in order to serve yourself, also has to do with this relationship. That you are serving everybody involved if you cut ties. And this certainly doesn't have to be true for everybody, but that's definitely one message I'm getting, that some relationships have come to their pinnacle, have come to their end. They have taught you everything that you needed to learn from them. And the only thing that's keeping you guys in each other's lives is your history and your long-standing relationship. But if there's nothing more that's serving you, it's, let it go, right? You have so much that you have learned and you can still be grateful for that. You can still be grateful for how the relationship went, but stop trying to make it something that it's not anymore. So that's one example. I'm going to look into it a little bit more because that feels really specific, and let me know in the comments if that's for you. But let's see, this Ace of Cups and Death, how you are being of service to others. I think almost just like being able to hold the space for others, and holding space has been coming up a lot lately. And holding the space just means letting somebody else talk, letting somebody else express themselves, letting somebody else feel safe enough to be themselves around you. And that's how you already serve others. I don't think that is like what you need to do. I think that is something you are very capable of doing, and you have a really strong talent in, is just being able to be there and being able to have like an emotional support energy that you provide for other people. And that's how you already serve others. Making sure though that you are doing it in a way that doesn't totally drain you of all of your energy, because we do have Death there. There might be some deep change that needs to happen in the way that you support other people. Are you taking on their energy all of the time? That's very Piscean. But you do have this ability to be there for others and to hold the space for others. And that's something that not everybody has. So really lean into that. Lean into it, and lean into just thinking about it, right? If like I said, it's draining your energy, lean into thinking about how you can maybe adjust that. So let's see your power in being an integral part of our global community. You got the Hierophant and the 5 of Cups. Wow. Interesting. So the Hierophant speaks of tradition, of convention, also speaks of higher learning, of higher, of religion, but in modern times, I would say more about spirituality, whether you do subscribe to an organized religion or not. It could also just be your own individual spirituality. And then we've got this Five of Cups. So I think that how you serve your global community and, just like humanity in general, how you serve your spiritual self, which in turn is serving everybody else as well, is, pity party, always a conversation I'm willing to have and seems to always come up. But it feels more important than that. It feels like the shift that happens within you emotionally, the way that you respond, not react, to emotional situations is very healing, not just for you, but for the world around you. Just like Chiron is our wounded healer, that it's our personal wound that we heal within ourselves throughout our entire lifetime, we're also healing that part of the universe, that part of the world that we're surrounded by. And just like this, the way that you shift your emotional reaction or just your reaction to emotional situations is really healing to the world around you. How are you being more reactionary? How are you, are you not grounding yourself? Are you not feeling tied to reality or to the present moment when you are having these more passionate reactions? For you, I think it's really important to serve the globe and to serve your spiritual self by releasing your initial reaction, whatever it is, if it's something that you've been triggered and you're reacting with that triggered response, that protective response, that fight or flight or freeze. So instead, to be able to say, oh, this is my initial reaction. I'm going to take 5 seconds. I'm going to breathe a little, and I'm going to see what kind of response I will react with, or respond with, rather. Something I talk about pretty often, and I'm sure, if you've picked the right piles every time, you probably heard this every time, because I do tend to talk about it, is how you think about who you want to be. Who do you want to be? And then be that person. So instead of reacting in whatever triggered way that you might be, to say, who do I want to be in this situation? And how would that version of me respond? And then you respond that way. Because then you're really living in alignment with your core values, with who you really, with who you respect within yourself. It's not who do I want to be and how do I be them? It's who do I want to be and how do I be that version of me? So that is how you can serve not just yourself, not just the people around you, but the entire universe, the entire spirituality connection that we all have with each other. I know that grammar didn't make sense, but it's elusive. It's Pisces season, so that's what I got for you. I'm going to pull a card or two about what you need to release this full moon and what you need to, or what you are manifesting. I got to switch my language up. So those 3 popped out, but I didn't see them, and I'm gonna... Okay, what you are releasing, and I've got what you're manifesting right here. What you need to release, the 8 of Cups. Yeah, the power that you give to your emotions. There's something about this pile's energy that just doesn't want to let go. There's something about wanting to hold on to that trigger, wanting to hold on to that reaction, identifying with your emotional reactions. You are not any less important. You are not any less valued if you decide to go with a response rather than a reaction. Sometimes when we react and we know we don't want to react, but we do it anyway, it's because there's a part of us that feels invalidated, and we want to feel validated. We want to feel justified in the way that we are triggered, in the way that we are experiencing pain or fear or worry. There's something within us that feels like nobody has acknowledged that I have hurt here. And so I'm going to react until somebody says, hey, I'm noticing you're reacting this way. It must be because you're experiencing some sort of discomfort or sadness or so on and so forth. So ask that within yourself. Next time you have an emotional reaction or a very passionate reaction to an emotional situation, what about your reaction are you unable to let go of? and why? So that is the release. And what are you manifesting? We've got the Star and we've got the Page of Cups. I love this. I feel like you are manifesting like new life into your ability to self-reflect. I feel like there's a new phase of your own spirituality that you're finding right now. And if it's not spirituality, that's fine. That's just kind of the vocabulary that I use. I mean, I use spirituality as basically like journaling, right? It's self-discovery, it's self-exploration. So I feel like you're really leveling up to this point of self-exploration and self-love, self-care, self-reflection. And that is what you are manifesting, is this new life being breathed into you, right? This new white light after you exhale and release this like smoky, reactionary, unevolved version of you. You're ascending into this more honest, self-honest version of yourself. So pile 2, I think this is really beautiful. And I think it's, immensely courageous of you, if you made it this far, to continue listening and to make whatever notes you're making and to do that work and releasing. I know, I have Taurus placements. I know it can be hard to let go sometimes. We want to hold on to what makes us unique. We want to hold on to trauma even, because it's what made us, it's how we identify with our pain or with our emotions. And you don't have to let go of all of your experiences, but letting go of reaction is really important for you right now. Letting go of your emotional reactions and instead responding in the way that you want to be. All right, pile 2, I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you a lot of love, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful full moon. Bye. All right, pile 3, I have got your smoky quartz point here. So we are going to be looking at how you can be of service, how you can serve yourself. I'm going to pull a card for that. I'm going to pull a card for how you can be of service to those around you, your nearby situations, work, family, friendships, whatever it is, partnerships. And then I'm going to pull a card on how you can be of service in a more spiritual way, how you can serve our global, universal community, how you can be of service to your spiritual self, and in turn, healing and serving everyone around you. So I'm going to start with, what deck do I want to use? Let's use the Ethereal Visions. So how can you be of service to yourself? Okay, we've got these 2 cards. First one up here is the 5 of Pentacles. And the next one here is the Fool. Definitely something about knowing what you value, being really honest about what you value within yourself, not judging what you find to be priority in your life. You know, is it because society told you, or is it because society is telling me, or is it because I'm trying to rebel? None of those questions, none of that rebellion. Just what do you find most important? How can you align with your priorities the best? And just accepting that. The Fool is all about just leaping in and not worrying about what's going to happen, or, you know, what responsibilities he has. He's just willing to try it out. He's willing to experience anything life has to offer him. Does it come with responsibilities? Yes. Is there something about feeling weighed down in your life right now that you feel like you're carrying a lot of weight? So how can you best serve yourself? Let's kind of hone this in and see what it really is nurturing the inner child within you. Which sounds like a completely new sentence because I didn't say any of that. But that is what it all comes down to, is your values, your priorities all come from who you truly are and who you are when you are most aligned, most connected to yourself. And that typically is our inner child. Our inner child, we are all our inner child, just in like this adult body. Or if you're a child watching this, in your child body. But aligning and nurturing your inner child's deepest desires. That's what really serves you here. And not judging it the way that maybe you felt you were judged as a kid. So that's how you can best serve yourself. Let's see how you can serve your local community, which includes all of your relationships, romantic, platonic. We've got the 2 of Cups, and there's one that's facing up for some reason, the 10 of Pentacles, and we're going to look at that too. So how you can be of service to your local community / your surroundings. Got the Two of Cups. I think it's important for you to listen to other perspectives, and the Ten of Pentacles, knowing that that other people can give you a lot. Other people can offer wise perspectives, can offer you wisdom. That's it. They can offer you wisdom. And there's sort of this want to do it all yourself and to be capable of doing it all yourself and having that strength within you. And you do have that strength within you. There is no shame in being helped by others. Not even that you're asking for help, but there's no shame in being given wise information or valuable information from somebody that isn't you. Sometimes I get into that little snafu myself where I'm like, oh man, like I wish I knew that myself. I guess I'm not smart, sort of thing. That's not the case. Other people have different experiences throughout their entire life. So we are all here to give each other different perspectives. Someone's walking around right now thinking about how you told them something that made them really think, that really impacted them. So it's okay to be impacted by other people's words and other people's thoughts. In a negative way, yes, it's okay because it happens, but you want to make sure that you have a sense of groundedness, that you don't let that really, become a turbulent catalyst in your life. But it's important, and it serves other people for you to say, hey, I really appreciated that perspective you gave me. That's really what it is saying, thanks. That was really helpful to me. You made my day better. You made my life easier. You've made me smile today. Just sharing your gratitude to other people and how they are bringing you any sort of betterment in your life. All right. The next one is a little bit larger picture. How is it that you can serve your spiritual self and in turn serving your global community? Okay. The one that turned right upside down is this Queen of Pentacles, which I think another pile got too recently. And the Four of Pentacles. Definitely how you can be of support, I think, to the global matters or universal matters is, just in these two cards, I would say finances are definitely there. In that second question of how you can serve your community is seeing how abundant you really are through other perspectives. And so I think that being able to offer whatever you can out of your pocket, out of your literal pocket, I think is really important. Go make a donation to an organization that you believe in. Go volunteer to your local organizations. So that's one way that you can really serve others. But I think there's something about sharing the wealth, and it doesn't have to be financially, right? Sharing your experiences, sharing your perspective, being available in a physical, very tangible way of being able to say, instead of holding on to all of this for yourself, holding all that wealth to yourself, being the Queen of Pentacles, allowing other people to see what you have. And because you have so many pentacles here, how you're serving yourself, that Five of Pentacles, nurturing that inner child. There's something about, I feel like your inner child would love to be able to say like, and you get a car, and you get a car, So really being able to indulge in that. And there's something really strong about generosity, that your ability to be generous and to live with compassion is really, really strong. And that is very healing in the world that you're living in, as well as in your own spiritual self. So, if you are not in a position to make a financial donation, that is understandable. And I don't want you to feel any sort of judgment on my end, because this is how you are also serving your spiritual self. And so being able to share the wealth just with your spiritual self, to say, hey, look at this thing I did, and being able to, having that gratifying experience of saying, I did something that I am proud of. Being able to say that you are proud of yourself is something that we often don't get to do. Or, that's part of a lot of people's journeys of, oh, you mean I can say that I'm proud of something I did, that I actually did something I find to be valuable and beautiful and amazing. Definitely something I see a lot in individual artists. So I'm going to look at how you can be of service to yourself a little bit more, because you did get that Major, you got the Fool here. Let's pull a card from the Everyday Witch Tarot. So I'm going to see what it is you need to release for this full moon. And then what it is you're manifesting for this full moon. And I feel like there's something else here that wants to be said. All right, well, I guess it's that. Wow. Excuse me. So, what is it that you are releasing during this full moon? You got the Emperor. There's something about it's my way or the highway. You know, like this queen is very generous. She's not flaunting that she has it. The Emperor sort of flaunts that he has it. And there's a release of that. Maybe it's even a release of feeling belittled by somebody who has this mindset that you are not better than anybody and nobody is better than you. As long as you are living in your most aligned state and you are living and nurturing your inner child, there is nothing that you need to give into when it comes to having that self-judgment or judgment from others. So really releasing the idea. I think there's something else with this Emperor, and I want to sit with it for a sec. I feel like there's something about not having autonomy, about not being able to be responsible for your choices. Not saying that you're not responsible for your choices, that there's something in your life that makes you feel like you don't have authority over yourself or autonomy. And anybody or anything that's making you feel that way, if it's a person, if it's a job, if it's a role that you're taking on, anything that makes you forget that you have autonomy, that you have choice over how your life goes, those things need to be released because you do have power. And Pisces and Virgo both tend to sort of forget about themselves, just like as archetypes. Pisces and Virgo tend to be so concerned with how they can be useful and of service to others that they forget that they also need to be taken care of or maintained or repaired in whatever way. And this Emperor is ruled by Aries, which is all about the self, which is all about self-care in a way. Take it from an Aries. There's a lot of focus on what is it that you need and how can you take charge in that? How can you sit in your own personal power, in your in just what makes you wonderful. So moving forward, what you are manifesting, you've got the Ace of Wands and you've got the World. So a new way of living in the world, a new way of walking through the world, of seeing the world, and of the world seeing you in a way. There's a lot here about how other people see you, how you see others, how you allow other people to be valuable to you, right? And even this like nurturing this inner child of yours to be able to say, I validate myself. I justify myself. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I am strong. I'm smart. I am valuable. And I am valued, if not by anybody else, by myself. Although I'm sure you're valued by somebody else. So that is what you're manifesting, is this ability. I mean, literally, we go from the Ace of Wands, which is the beginning, which is like a discovery of an inspiration, an excitement, an ignition. And the World is the end of the majors. This is the amalgamation of all of the world's experiences, of what the world has to offer you. So it's really interesting here how you are manifesting this full completion, like this whole cycle being completed here. So I'm going to pull a card from the Relative Tarot, see if there's anything from your spirit guides that needs to come through, anything more right there. We've got the Hierophant landed right on what you're manifesting. I think it's important for you to make it priority to connect with your higher self, whatever that means to you, right? And let me know what that does mean to you. I'm always so curious about what your individual spirituality looks like, or your subscription to religion, what that looks like. So let me know in the comments because I really want to know. But there's something about having a ritualistic approach to connecting with the self and connecting to the inner child. And that's, I think, what your spirit guides really want you to know, is it's important for you to serve yourself through your own higher consciousness. All right. I hope that was helpful for you. I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope you have a wonderful full moon, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.